What is going on, Pats Nation? It's Patriots Global here, back with another video, and in this one, we're going to be talking about how the Patriots are absolutely doing their due diligence on this 2022 wide receiver draft class, which is supposed to be really good. Now, this isn't just New England looking at one first-round pick and then a second-round pick, a third-round pick, and a bunch of late-round picks. New England is doing their due diligence on these big first-round wide receivers. Now, they are still looking into, of course, second, third-round guys, which we will get into, but they are looking into the top of the top wide receivers in this upcoming draft. Of course, before we get started, make sure you guys leave a big like on this video. It really helps me and the channel out, along with subscribing to the channel for all of your New England Patriots news if you have not already. I'll have you guys updated for everything, whether it's trades, signings, releases, Patriots players signing somewhere else, draft videos, mock drafts, everything involving the New England Patriots, so hit that subscribe button. But so far, the Patriots have met with Alabama's Jameson Williams, Ohio State's Chris Olave, and Arkansas's Treylon Burks. Now, those are just the guys that are expected to go in the first round, at least first caliber wide receivers. I should also point out that the Patriots did meet and have a genuine meeting with John Metchi. Now, we all talked about John Meche before on this channel. If you want to know more about John Meche, his relationship with Mac Jones, Patriots, Bill Belichick, what he brings, I'll link that video in the description below so you guys can go ahead and really have an in-depth version on what John Meche brings to the Patriots and why Patriots fans are so high on him. Now, he is expected to be a second to third round pick, so you know, he's an actual wide receiver the Patriots could get in the later rounds and not with the 21st overall pick. But because so many of us Patriots fans are high on John Metchi and would like to see that reunion between him and Mac Jones, it is worth noting that the Patriots did meet with him. Now, of course, the biggest rumor, at least as of now for this offseason involving the New England Patriots, has been the fact that they reportedly want to go ahead and target a true wide receiver one to pair up with Mac Jones. The Patriots want to get Mac Jones his guy. You know, Dak Prescott has CeeDee Lamb. Aaron Rodgers has Devontae Adams. Joe Burrow has Jamar Chase, which really took them to that next level in 2021 once that addition of Jamar Chase joined and reunited with Joe Burrow. Now, to start off with these first caliber wide receivers here, let's start off with Jameson Williams. It's actually really interesting because the Patriots aren't exactly targeting a specific styled of wide receiver, at least from what's been shown throughout the meetings, which doesn't hold all the value at all, but it does give a feel on the guys that they are interested in. But Jameson Williams, Chris Olave, and Treylon Burks are all different styled of wide receivers. Now, Williams here is easily the best deep threat in this draft class when it comes to a wide receiver, and especially out of these three wide receivers that we just talked about, he is going to be your deep threat. He's going to be your speedster. He's going to be your gadget player, you know. Basically, to put this into a comparison to NFL terms, he would be your Tyreek Hill. To put that into perspective, he averaged 47.6 yards per touchdown reception. Now, obviously, he will not be participating in the combine due to the fact that he did tear his ACL this past year in Alabama. To also kind of put this into perspective, if the Patriots were to draft Williams, he would not be ready for OTAs, minicamp, training camp, rookie minicamp, but he also would not be ready for the start of the season. That is definitely going to drop his draft stock. So there's a good chance he definitely could be there at the 21st overall pick just due to the fact that he did tear his ACL and he won't be ready for teams this offseason nor the start of the season. But I could see Bill Belichick still taking a swinger on somebody like Williams just due to the speed, due to the next level threat that he's going to bring as a wide receiver, not to mention the fact his relationship with Nick Saban there in Alabama, obviously him having also a connection with Mac Jones, makes a lot of sense. Now, Chris Olave, on the other hand here, first off, I want to say Chris Olave, way faster than I thought. This draft class is way faster than I thought. Chris Olave ran a 4:26 today, 40-yard dash. That is one of the fastest to ever run a 40-yard dash in NFL history. And I'm actually very high on Chris Olave. If you ask me what receiver I want the Patriots to take, my first option right away is Chris Olave because I love the way that he fits into this system. There's one receiver that fits like a glove into this Patriots system. It's going to be Chris Olave. You know, everybody wants a guy who can catch 50-50 balls. You know, jump ball guy who can catch passes in traffic, or a guy who's going to be a speedster. Nobody wants your classic route runner, short to intermediate route speed, able to get good separation, and is a highly reliable receiver. Most fans, especially Patriots fans, aren't that into that style of wide receiver, but that's the exact style of wide receiver that fits here in New England. That's why Kendrick Bourne had a career season. That's why Jacoby Myers has panned out so well for the Patriots. That's why your Julian Edelmans, your Wes Welkers have panned out so well here in New England. I mean, the classic speedsters or your 50-50 strength ball catchers down the sideline of the field, those guys don't usually work out in New England. Now, luckily enough for Chris Olave, again, like I mentioned earlier, he did run a very fast 40-yard dash, so he does bring that vertical threat. He's going to bring that deep field threat, not just to make him a short to intermediate route receiver to fit perfectly in this system, but he's also going to get open down the field and be a good deep threat here for Mac Jones also. But the great thing is that that's not what you're going to depend on Chris Olave for. He's not the type of guy that's going to depend on his speed to get open and is strictly going to be a deep threat. Now, the next receiver the Patriots met with here that is expected to go in the first round is Treylon Burks. Now, I know a lot of Patriots fans are really high on him. I wouldn't be against the Patriots drafting him. He's just not my favorite guy. I think, in all honesty, a guy like N'Keal Harry kind of ruined those 50-50 strong, tall ball catchers for me. And that's really what Treylon Burks is going to be. He's just going to be much better at it than N'Keal Harry is. He's obviously a guy that's going to bring really nice size to whichever teams he ends up getting drafted to at 6'3", 225 pounds. Really big hands also. So like I mentioned, he's mainly going to be a perimeter guy, not someone you put in the middle of the field or going to have too much of that versatility. For the most part, going to be a perimeter guy, a big 50-50 ball catcher in this league. I think a lot of NFL experts expected him to run a much better 40 time. He ended up running about a 450 and a 455 in his 40-yard dashes, which isn't too far off on where N'Keal Harry ran. Now, Treylon Burks is expected to be visibly faster than what N'Keal Harry was, not making him a speedster or anything, but still faster than N'Keal Harry. But those numbers are saying something a little different. Personally, I would stay away from Treylon Burks, but people are saying that he very well could be that next A.J. Brown in this 2022 draft class. Now, also, like I mentioned, the Patriots did meet with John Metchi, not a guy that's supposed to go in the first round. We're looking more at like second to third round. So if the Patriots decide not to go receiver in the first, definitely a good talent that could be a day one plug-in starter and difference maker for the Patriots that they can get outside of the first. Now, Meche is a guy who is supposed to bring speed to whichever offense he ends up joining. We don't currently know what his 40-yard dash is, but he is expected to definitely bring speed to the offense. Like I mentioned, this one really comes down to the connection between him and Mac Jones. That final year in Alabama, Mac Jones' big guy, his real big target, was going to John Metchi, especially in the red zone, and that is definitely an area the Patriots kind of struggled in and were very inconsistent in during the 2021 season. So you bring in a guy like John Metchi, who already has this repertoire, has this rapport with Mac Jones. That's an easy day one plug-in difference maker that week one, you don't have to worry, is that connection going to be there? You know, is that connection going to take half a season to build, because they already have that? And John Metchi was putting up elite numbers once he hit the red zone when working with a quarterback like Mac Jones, and then the year after Mac Jones left, so this past year in Alabama, was able to put up over 1,000 receiving yards. Now, of course, due to the connection between John Metchi and Mac Jones, Metchi was asked about joining the Patriots. He was all for it. He even said that he feels it would be, and I quote, special to reunite with Mac Jones. He's very big on the idea of joining the New England Patriots. And I think another aspect Belichick would really like about Meche, who said his meeting with the Patriots went really well, is that he's very, very willing as a run blocker, which Belichick very secretly looks for. It's a pretty big priority for Bill Belichick when looking to potentially draft a receiver. So I think John Mechie's doing all the right things. He's definitely a name to watch. But that's going to be it for today's video. The New England Patriots are looking into receiver after receiver after receiver, including 3 guys who are expected to go somewhere in the first round. And then, of course, John Meche, a second to third round projected pick that has a lot of ties back here to New England. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Let me know in the comment section below. Remember to leave a big like on this video and subscribe to the channel for all of your New England Patriots news. Like always, I appreciate you guys for watching, and go Pats.